but you're not. You steal, you lie, you cheat. But you believe, I'm an honest man. And someone says, I caught you stealing. No, 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 I was not stealing. How dare you say that, right? You'll really retaliate. You'll get very upset when you're accused because you believe it's false. But if it's true, then you say, yeah, but let's go over here for a coffee. You don't get upset. You might try to divert away from it, but it won't throw you off balance because you know it's true. So I'm not saying we're all thieves, but the personal growth side is in this process, you get to know who you really are because you're not really you. So you're going to find out who you really are, which is baby no name. And then you can make yourself into choosing what you want and what you like. Then you're solid. And solid, but a cloud. Okay? So how it works is knowing, as I said before, the cause of the cause of the cause. And that's just another story about this is, it's not her, but I had a girlfriend who looked very much like that with long hair. And one day she starts getting these migraines. Every day in the afternoon, she's getting these severe migraines. So she goes to the doctor, he can't find anything. So then specialist, brain surgeon, MRI, CAT scan, X-ray, this and that. Nobody can find anything. And every day she's getting these terrible migraines. Anyhow, one day it's the weekend, a month goes by like this, and it's the weekend, she's just too tired. And she just stays in bed all day and doesn't get a headache. Ah, great. And in Montreal, our weekends are 2 days. So she gets the second day again. Ah, it's great, sleeping. I'm sleeping again. Again, no headache. Monday comes, time to go to work. She gets up, does her makeup, ties her hair in the new hairstyle, the tight bun like this. And that day she got a headache. And she figured out it's because she tied her hair so tight that it cut off the blood circulation, and that's what was giving her the headache. So if she went to a hairdresser instead of a brain surgeon, she would have cured her problem, okay? And this is part of the broken machine. We don't think of the little rubber thing underneath the leg of the table because we're so sure we know where the problem is. And that's why your life goes in circles. So you see how I've tied everything together, right? And so that's the new language, the language of truth, the language of what's underneath. So the language of lies is the language of negative imagination. And that's where everything is. It's in your imagination, okay? So all your fears, doubts, insecurities, everything, okay? So that's all is mind, all right? Any questions? Something about that? Cool?
Good.
All righty. Good, good. Okay. What is your name?
Oh, I'm Mo.
Mo. Okay. Well, the second one, now these two will be much less. That's the most, because that's the biggest workshop. That's 4 sessions. I do that twice a month. Usually I'll do it 2 days, and then the following week 2 days, or we might do 4 days in a row. So I break up the schedule, doing it twice a month, so whatever fits people. But with the 4 sessions, what happens is, let's say you can do the first 2, but the day of the 3rd or the 4th you can't make it. You just make it up at the next time I run the course. So you don't lose anything, okay? So you just make it up on the next run.
Each session is an hour?
2. Everything is 2 hours. Unless we talk a lot, then it's 2.5 hours.
It's an 8-hour course.
Yeah, that usually will run a lot more because we'll have more things to talk about. I'm doing it now. We're in the middle. We had the first 2 sessions, the next 2 sessions, Thursday, Friday. It may be done in 8 hours because it's only one person doing it this time, so it's easier. But when it's a bigger group, when I've had 10 or 12 people, it can run 10 hours or 12 hours. I might run 5 sessions. Same price, I'm not going to charge more. But if there's more questions and interactions, it could go longer. Okay. All right, so now this one, End Frustration, this is a 1 session workshop focused just on this, ending frustration and improving communication. So true communication means you do not fight or have negative emotional reactions, but instead, a coin, you know, when you turn it over, it doesn't mean the other side isn't there anymore, right? It's just which side is showing. So emotions, like everything in this world, are duality. So a negative emotion, the other side is a positive emotion. So when you are actually eliminating or reducing negative emotional reactions, you will increase the positive ones. So what happens is, by being less angry, we become more compassionate, more understanding. All right? The biggest cause of our problems is because we don't listen. We don't read. Now, this is a real story again. I like using real stories. It's more practical. I had two of my students. One boy, he owned the house, and the girl was flatting there, renting a room from him. So they're living together, but, you know, separate rooms. So one day the boy did something nice for the girl, and then when he was out to work, she bought a chocolate bar and a Coca-Cola and put the chocolate bar with this note on his desk. Thanks for the sweet thing you did for me. Here's something sweet to say thanks, and I put a Coke in the fridge for you. Pretty easy, right? For someone who's a professional, intelligent, educated person, not a complicated note. Anyhow, she had to go out. He comes home, and he says, hey, thanks for the chocolate, and I see you have a Coke in the fridge. Could I have it? And she's like, I told you it's yours. Oh, I didn't read the note. He said, but you saw the note. So she told me, and I said, well, what happened? He says, well, I saw thank you and the chocolate. So I thought I knew what the note said. How many times have you done that? A small email, and you didn't read it all, and then you answered inappropriately. Or that's happened, you know, you send somebody 2 lines, do this and this. How to disarm the bomb. Cut the blue wire after you cut the red wire. Next thing you hear them explode, right? So this is our problem. We're not communicating because we think we know what is being said, right? This workshop is to show you how to not do that anymore, and how to see when someone else is doing that, and how to fix the communication so you don't end up in a fight. All right? Now, relationships are all based on communication. Now, relationship is not just couples, right? That's everything. Co-workers, customer, client, boss, this. And 2 humans talking, it's a relationship, all right, in this context. Everything is based on communication. How you receive, how you give. Your words and your actions will determine how it goes. That's pretty obvious, right? So all we have to do is know how to listen first, so we know how to speak. So when you learn the right way to speak, like there are workshops like that, right? Courses like that, how to speak properly and avoid this, they don't really work if you don't know how to listen to the other person. And listening is not just what they're saying. And that's what I call my new language. Is like these Indians are out there shopping, and 2 friends, they're out there, and he's bargaining, right? Indians are good bargainers. Bargain, bargain, bargain. And the seller says, oh, you're cheap. And the guy goes, thank you. His friend says, thank you. Why are you saying thank you? He called you cheap. He says, well, he said cheap, but he meant frugal. It's a compliment. The word came out cheap, but what he meant is I'm frugal. I'm wise with my money. So listening is to listen to what's not coming out of their mouth, but what is really deep in the machine of their mind. What happened that makes them say what they said or did what they said? That's what we will learn how to do. Because the big problem is you just don't understand. Yeah, please, go ahead. You have to hold the button sometime if it doesn't move right away. Or turn it off.
Is that all right with anyone? Just put a little wire? Yeah, sure.
It'll stay cool. It doesn't get hot very quickly here because we're in, concrete. You just don't understand. Now, you know the difference between a monologue and a dialogue? Basically, a monologue is one person talking to himself, which is what I'm doing. A dialogue is 2 people talking to themselves. When it's an argument, have you noticed that what you're saying and the other one is saying, you're arguing about so-called the same thing? But listen to these arguments. They're not talking about the same thing. And that's the problem. You don't understand. Or when I said something and you answered, I said, no, 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 that's not right. You don't understand. Yes, I do understand you. No, I can tell by your answer you don't understand. What do you think, I'm stupid? Of course I understand you. No, you don't understand. Yes, I do understand. And you end up in a fight. Because one thinks they understand, but you know what you're saying. You know they don't understand, but they don't want to understand that they don't understand because you think you already know. You see? So everything is about you don't understand. Now, how do you understand why the other person doesn't understand you? If I'm talking and you don't understand me, we could get in a fight about that. But if I can immediately see why it is you don't understand me, and it's not because I am not speaking well or I am not clear, but there's something in your broken machine that is hearing what I'm saying and turning it into something totally different that you think you hear, or that they think they hear. They think you said. How does that work, and how do we fix that? So to be able to see that process happening in another person's mind, that's how we learn to listen, and then we know how to speak. When we can basically read their thoughts. Not psychically, but it's actually quite easy to be able to know what a human being is thinking. Humans, no offense, are a very simple creature. They're not complicated at all. It's very easy to understand a human. All you have to do is to know how the human machine works. And then they're very easy to understand. So what we'll work on is explaining that words have no innate value. Insulting, rude, arrogant, all of this, there's no such thing. Words are not any of these emotions. Words are only what you interpret them to be. They have no value in themselves. Si je parle français et que tu ne comprends pas de français, je peux te dire n'importe quoi. Tu es une grande vache, tu es entièrement fou, et il n'y a pas de chance en vie que tu vas être un succès, et c'est bon, pas de problème. Right? And if you don't speak French, you won't know that I said you're a big fat cow, you're completely stupid, and there's no chance in life that you'll ever succeed. Now, if that's what you heard me say, it would hurt. But you didn't know what I said. But yet, if you did speak French, you would know. So the words themselves have no meaning. It is entirely how you interpreted it. So anybody who tells you words are powerful, words have meaning, just remember this. And if words had power like a stick or a knife, then the person who's deaf and blind, who you are cursing from behind, would feel it. But they don't feel anything because they can't hear you. They don't even know you're there. So anytime someone says words are powerful, words have meaning, what do they say? No, they don't. It's only the way I interpreted those words. I gave them meaning. Whoop, sorry. Words are nothing more than a knife you put on the table. You bitch! And you can go, yeah, you idiot. What do you know? Or you can say, how dare you call me that? Words, absolutely no meaning. Whatever anyone says, their knife you leave on the table. Now you can know that intellectually, but because your machine is broken, you can't actually leave the knife on the table. You need to learn the methods, not so much methods and tools and such. My work is all about just knowing how the machine works. You know, when you put the baby in the room, you turn off the lights, good night, darling. They scream, monster, monster, monster. You come in, open the door, turn on the lights. Where's the monster? It's gone now. You turn the lights on, right? You're no different. The same way with the nose, you believe anything, you'll believe what the doctors tell you. You don't look at the obvious because they said so. So it's the same thing with the words. They said so. I know what you mean because I know everything. And there's the problem. So you have to know how the machine works. Why is it that you feel this? Why is it you pick up that knife? Okay? And one of the reasons is, come on, is that humans love to be a drama queen. We love. He said this, she did that, the boss is terrible, the government is out to get me, oh my God, the world is out to get me, poor me, pity me. Humans love to be a drama queen. So we'll always pick up that knife and say, you did this to me. Because one thing that humans really don't want to do is accept responsibility for anything, especially for their own messed up life. So if you're poor and you're struggling and you can never get ahead and you can never pay the bills, you're not going to say, because I didn't do what David did and sacrificed 11 years to save up enough money, because I don't want to have to work that hard. Or you didn't say, well, I love smoking and drinking and getting drunk every weekend and I waste all my excess money there. You don't want to admit that. But you'd rather say, the company never pays me enough. They don't pay me enough. Oh, the government takes too much in taxes. Oh, this, oh, that. It's always there. It's never anything about my own doing, right? So that's why we love being a drama queen. Because then I can do whatever I want. I don't have to sacrifice anything. And it's never my fault. So all our emotions, our anger, our pain is all your fault because you picked up the knife and stick it in your own heart. So when you see how the machine works, how you get angry, why you get angry, how you react, and how to communicate in a way that won't happen anymore. You will not get angry. It is impossible to insult me. You cannot make me feel hurt, guilty. I'll feel guilty when I know I did something wrong, but you can't make me feel guilty unless I know I did something wrong. Cannot manipulate, cannot get me angry. It's impossible because I understand where everything is coming from, right? And so that's what, in 2 hours, you're going to get that. And then from then on, no matter what anyone does to you, you're going to have two reactions. You're going to feel bad or you're not going to feel bad. And that's because you either really did something wrong and you will develop a sense of responsibility and take responsibility and fix it because you did screw up, or you know you didn't screw up and you'll see the cause of their attack, where it really comes from, which is their own pain, which again is a nice saying, but you have to learn the details of how to do that, okay? How that works. And then it all becomes very instant. And then it's really simple. And then you just basically will be able to communicate. So when I'm talking to you and you're starting to get angry, I'll know why you're really getting angry. I might know exactly, I might know approximately, but I'll see it, I'll know it. And since I take responsibility for everything in my life, I'm responsible for getting you angry. So I will adapt what I'm doing, knowing how the machine works and knowing you are broken and I'm not going to fix you. So I'm going to deal with you like a broken machine. And then I will change the way I'm talking in a way that will not push your buttons. So that way, everybody is happy.
And you chose me as the angry one in the
Well, I got to focus on one. You're closer? I don't know. He's sitting there so calmly, just like, you know, he's like, yeah, everything is cool. I'm happy. Yeah. Sorry. Got to choose someone. It's got to be more fun.
The redhead guy.
But didn't you see? I changed to him afterwards. I did. You know, in the middle, I did move over. Very wisely avoiding doing that to the woman. You see? So...
You said drama queen, you didn't say drama king, so...
Oh, you'd be surprised. Men are often worse than women like that. Yeah, yeah. Except they just pick different things. Yeah. So it's things like this story of the two monks long ago when it was just all mud, you know, dirt paths. They're walking along the path and they're coming up in the path. It's a huge, huge, huge muddy patch, very big muddy patch. And there's this woman, beautiful young woman in a long dress, nice shoes, just standing there. And as the monks approach, one figures out, he says, she's trying to figure out how to cross without getting dirty. So he doesn't say a word. He just picks her up, carries her across, puts her down. She goes, thank you, thank you. Both walk in the opposite direction. Done, finish. Later that night, the other monk explodes. How could you do that? How could you touch her, you carried her. We're not supposed to look at women. And you carried her. How could you do that? Where are your vows, your commitment? And this, he says, listen, I put her down back on the path. Why are you still carrying her? And that's part of the problem, is that when something happens, we're carrying it. All right? And so in this workshop, along with All Is Mind, you learn how never to carry anything anymore. The same as what I said, when I'm behind the stupid driver, I'm pissed off because they're making me wait. But as soon as I'm in front of them, they're not bothering me anymore. Not angry anymore. So you still get angry, but you get angry appropriately. And which means, is the anger warranted? And is it still warranted? Or is the event past? No need for it. Now, the biggest thing is that when someone is giving you shit, you will develop a compassion for them. So if I say, you idiot, I'm your boss. You screwed up. How could you do that? It's a stupid thing. You're going to say, why are you yelling at me? I didn't do it wrong, blah, blah, and you end up angry. Okay. But instead, I'm going to say, you stupid, how could you screw up? You're going to go, oh, it's all right. Don't worry. I know you're suffering. I know you're in pain. That's okay. Yell. It'll make you feel better. But you don't get affected. So you have compassion for anyone attacking you rather than retaliation. So that's what we get with the Eliminating Frustration and Frustration course, okay? And that's a one-session one. We'll do that also, I think, about twice a month or so. And the last one I'll talk about tonight is how to get and keep a successful relationship. Now, this is not about dating, all right? There are some things I talk about, that mistakes you make when dating, mistakes in a relationship, which is different. Relationship is marriage, committed relationship. Dating is just meeting. Excuse me. But this is not about writing a Tinder profile or how to meet someone. Okay? This is about basically, everybody wants a 10. They want somebody wonderful. But you're a 2.5. You're not worthy of a 10. So this workshop is about raising you to be worthy of the person you want to be with. Okay? So this is both in new relationships or keeping and reviving the love and passion in existing marriages, longer-term relationships. That's what this is about. So it's, again, personality development to make you a better person so you can have a better relationship. But the topics in discussion are all geared towards relationship rather than jobs or career and so on, okay? So this, people are generally waiting when they're young and beautiful. Oh, not good enough. Maybe there's better. Maybe there's something. And in life too, we're waiting for something better to come along. But eventually, I love this one, waiting for the perfect man. We eventually wait so long, you eventually become dead through the natural process of aging. So in this workshop, we learn about why we're wasting our life, where we're making mistakes, why we're not being able to commit. So it works on being able to commit, being really devoted, what makes real love, all right? And what I found, there's no such thing as love in itself. Like you get angry or you feel love and so on. But love is not actually, in a relationship, is not actually a real thing. It's a product of two things when we're talking about lasting lifetime love: admiration and respect. When you really admire and respect someone, then love develops. And that's the love that lasts. All right? I have 4 friends, couples, that met when they were in their 20s and now in their 80s, still together. And this is what I found, is they talk about their partner with like a god. Oh, she's so talented. Look at the art. Look at the paintings. Look at the jewelry. He's so smart. He did so well in his business. He takes care of our family. He is so reliable. Everything is about admiring and respecting the quality of that person. So in this workshop, that's what we're talking about, is how to become that person that is so admirable and respected. Again, these are topics talking about in respect to relationship, but it works the same for the career. So when I do the workshop on becoming the pinnacle of your career, being career success, it's the same concept, but different examples, more applicable in business, okay? So they complement each other. Basically, I think if you did all of my workshops, it'd be something like 900 dirham for everything I do, right? They all complement each other. So ultimately, that would be the best thing. And that's why I'm doing it so cheap, so people can do everything, because I just want to see happier people. So how to succeed? And success, in this case, success is relationships, but it's also career, but it's self-esteem, it's purpose of life. So when you're midlife crisis and say, what's the point of life? Or when you're 60 or 70, oh, what's life about? Then that's a failure. But if you say, oh yeah, I have a reason for living, life has a point, I have a reason to get up, that's success. I have a reason to get up in the morning. So success is when you know what the real goal is. So a lot of the work in this workshop is to make you know what is the most important thing for every human being. As I said, 91 countries so far. I've studied many religions. I've lived in I've lived in every continent except Antarctica. It's the same, from birth till death. But when we're little babies, you can see it. When we're very old, you can see it. The middle part, we ignore it. And that is companionship. That's it. What does a baby want? I want to be with you. Baby doesn't say, piss off, mom, I want to be alone. What does an old person want? Please be with me. I'm scared. I'm alone. In the middle, we spend the whole time ignoring it because it's very hard to find somebody. And we get distracted with, you've got to be a career, success in career, have properties, have this, have that. But ultimately, everything is about companionship for a human being, from birth to death. Good kids from good homes, good education, join gangs. They become hoodlums. They do crime, they do drugs, they do all these terrible things. You say, how did this kid from such a good family, like one of my friends in Colorado, he said he knew this kid since he's born, the child of his friends, right? He knew him since he's born. He was such a good kid, really nice, polite, and this. And one day he took a machine gun and shot 12 people at a bus stop. How did this happen? It's because there was no feeling of companionship. We felt alone. So when you know that I want to be rich, why? People will like me. I want to be famous, why? People will admire me. I want to look beautiful, people will like me. I want to have big muscles, they will like. I want tattoos, it looks good, people will like to look. Everything is to make people like you. Hopefully one special one at least. So everything in our life is driven by the need of companionship. When you know the ultimate drive, then your priorities get straightened out. You don't waste your time doing things that take you away from that, and you can put all your energy into achieving that, which doesn't mean you spend all your time on Tinder, but in making yourself worthy of getting the perfect person to be with you, or group of people, or whatever it'll be. Okay? So that's what this workshop is about. I took all these pictures in Africa. I love it. I mean, it's all families, couples, families. Every mammal is the same. The lions are the best. They are so cuddly. It's amazing. Here's the hyenas, right? The eagles. I don't know which one. Those are kudu, I think, young kudu, which is impala. Okay. Yeah, so many. It's all about companionship, every mammal. And you see them playing, right? The dolphins playing, the whales are playing, everybody. So that's, you've got to be clear on that. And here, just another funny story. These two old guys, he's still a bachelor. His friend says, why you didn't marry? He said, well, I thought about it once. So I went to look for the perfect wife. And I found a girl beautiful, but stupid. Another one, she was beautiful and smart, but arrogant. And another one, lovely, sweet, humble, but ugly. And he went through all of these things. And one day I found the perfect woman. Beautiful, smart, humble, loving, great home, perfect. He says, why you didn't marry her? Hey, she was looking for the perfect man. So that's the idea of this, is personal growth, to become worthy of the partner, of the job, of the career, of your own self-esteem, your own feeling about yourself, okay? So forget about what you deserve. Like now I'm single, so dating profiles, you see, I deserve the perfect man, I deserve a rich man, I deserve this, I'm worthy of this. No, you're not. What makes you think you are? You know? So we've got to actually become worthy of that. And this is from Confucius. You know Confucius, the old Chinese guy from thousands of years ago? Do not strive to be respected, rather make yourself worthy of respect. That really says it all. I've known that since I'm a kid, so I spend my life trying to be that. As I said, I was in nuclear energy, and that means I did, well, it was President of the United States, Secretary of Energy, head of CIA. Everything has to get involved. It's nuclear energy. And they all respected me. That's what an honor. These people, some of the top nuclear physicists in the world were coming to my office. I finished high school, but they respected me because of how reliable. What they said was, David is the most reliable man I've ever met. Wow, that's something. So this is what I want to give, because when people like this can say that about you, then you know, I've achieved something. What's the point of life? Now I have something. All right, so this is what we're working on. That's what the relationships is about. And basically you'll learn how to have good communication, understanding your partner. The dating, like I said, is different than in a relationship. And how to remove your emotional blocks, which is very important, because in a relationship, if you have any emotional traumas from when you're young, any blocks, that's going to get in the way. If you're not aware of them, where they come from, what causes them, that's going to eventually get a problem. So we have to work on that, and how to build a powerful emotional connection, which cannot happen unless you remove the blocks, right? That's basically knowing what really matters. We talk about the difference between being involved or being committed, how to become more committed, and things like that. All right, and then I just end tonight with one little story. Again, a true story. First time I was in India was the early 90s, so there's no computers. And I was in the town, and I went to the train station, small town, it's just one guy in the train. And I said, I want to book a ticket for tomorrow to go to Bombay. He said, no, sir, you come tomorrow. Every day there is a train. You come tomorrow, many seat, many train. You come tomorrow, get ticket. I said, no, I'd rather book a ticket and I'll feel better and it's reserved seat and this. No, sir, you come tomorrow. Don't you worry. You come tomorrow, many train, no problem. Anyway, so I keep trying and there's no way. He is not going to give me a ticket. Anyhow, next day, checked out of this hotel, booked the room in the next, have my bag, everything. Same guy. Oh, hi. Can I have a ticket to Bombay? He says, no, sir, no train today. What do you mean no train? He said, oh no, on this day of the week, there's never a train. You come tomorrow. Tomorrow there is a train. And what do you mean? You said there would be a train today. I'm all ready to go. I have to go. Give me a ticket. I've got to go. No, sir, I'm sorry. There is no train today. You come tomorrow, you will get train. Now I'm getting really angry. This is before I did all my work, right? I was young. And I said, so why? If you knew there would not be a train today, why did you tell me there would be? He said, I did not want to get you upset. What are you going to do? Good intentions, just not very forward thinking. So that's part of what we learn, is that instead of staying pissed off, you see the intentions. That's in eliminating frustration, it's in relationships, it's in life in general. We will learn how to see the intentions and respond to the intentions. The doctor who's operating and the patient dies is not a murderer. That wasn't his intention. So it's the same thing, day-to-day life. So we learn to see the underneath, the intentions of things. And that removes a lot of fights. Because so many things, you know, you're married and you're keeping a secret because it's her birthday and you're getting a big special present. So you're hiding. And she's like, you hiding something from me? No, nothing at all. I know you're hiding something. What's going on? Nothing at all. And then, you know, this distrust. And all of a sudden you're getting really angry and it's a fight because you know he's hiding and he doesn't want to tell you the truth because it's a surprise. And then after you get the present, they say, But you got so angry up until then, right? So wouldn't it be better to say, I know I can trust him. I know he's lying. But why is he lying? Maybe something is good. Maybe I don't know what it is. But let's see what happens. You know? So you avoid getting angry. You avoid the fight. You avoid the problem. I mean, that's just one example. But there will be many things like that that are small things that happen that we misinterpret because we identify and then have an emotional reaction through fragmentation, which then causes a fight when there was no need for a fight to begin with. And all of these little things build up to divorce. So if we can fix this problem from happening, then relationships can be much happier, healthier, and lasting a lifetime. So that's the idea. All right. So those are 3 of the courses. In all, there's 7 different workshops, which you can see on the website. WhatsApp, my number, which I think you have. Then we have all our social media pages. So if you would like us, then share with your friends, get more people to come in. That would be really wonderful. All right. And yes, that's about it. Thank you. So questions, anything you want to say or ask or whatever?
I thought I watched your videos on YouTube.
Yes, we have videos on YouTube also.
Okay. I'm like looking at me. I'm sure I watched them on YouTube.
Yeah. You forgot to tell me, or did I not put it on the slide?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
We have all the copy, maybe.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah, and yeah, so then welcome to any of the courses. You can, sign up on the website and all of that. And we do them all here. Everything is here in this room. It's nice, quiet, private. We have all the teas and coffees and water and everything is there. So, yeah. So please, yeah, come to the workshops or ask any questions. And then once you do any of the workshops, then we can always keep in touch afterwards because we have things to talk about because you've learned the basics. And then we can just build on that. All right. That's it. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it and yeah, got something out of it.
Yes, very much so.
Good. Very good. All right. Well, you want to sign up for any workshops now?
I want to look at the schedule.
Okay.
That's really
The website
family
or
that
the
I'd
calendar.
love to send for it too. Yeah.
Great.
A lot of the concepts that you've talked about, I mean, there are different people who say it in different ways. Like a book that really touched me was the Michael Singer's The Untethered Soul. I don't know if you're familiar
No.
with it. Yes, in an essence, everyone says what's going wrong in our life. There's a conditioning in the past. If we deal with it, then everything will be okay. And what I found is that itself is great enlightenment. At least people in say my mother's generation, that was not something they would have even considered. Right, in our generation, we talk about it more and we realize a lot of it is in our past. But what I'm hearing, if I'm hearing it right, because you do read your books and you're on the path for a while, and then you lose it. And I find myself reading, because I found that book really helpful, and I was seeing old patterns coming in again, so I was reading it again. But what I'm hearing you say is the way your framework and your model helps us to be consistent.
Yep. Because I explain what goes on in a different way. At least from all the people over the years who've done my work, they've never heard it before. And they've taken many courses and many books. The way I present it is very unique because it's my own way from my own experiences, what I've understood and developed. But the most important thing is that I'm always here, where a book you can't talk to. But after you do my workshops, then I'm always here to keep talking to. And then you say, oh, David, this happened today. What do you think? Ah, okay, this is what you did. So that makes the biggest difference between me and a book. Yeah, is that I talk back. I can explain what you didn't get. And even when you think you get it, and that's part of the workshops, is you get exercises, especially All Is Mind. Okay, now you're going to do this. Next session, you come back. What did you do? What happened? Ah, that's where you did it wrong. You know what the thing is, what a teacher is supposed to do is tell the student where they're wrong. not where you're right. I got to tell you where you made a mistake, what you did wrong, so you can change it, improve it, get it right next time. You know, it's like the concept of sin. Sin in Christianity is taken from Buddhism, and in the first version of the New Testament, the word is armatia, because it was written in Greek. Armatia is taken from archery. This is all taken from Buddha, because Buddha said there's no sin. In Buddhism, there's no such thing as sin. Buddha said you missed the mark. You know archery? You shoot, you didn't hit the bullseye. Shoot again. So that's it. So in Buddhism, there's no sin. In original New Testament, also no such thing as sin. You missed the mark, try again. So the job of the teacher is to keep telling the student, you missed, change a little this, you know. It's like with archery, I shoot targets. So your elbow is too high. You know, the arrow keeps going up because your elbow is high. Lower the elbow a little bit. The arrow keeps going down. Oh, elbow is down. Raise it a little bit. Or in Tai Chi, oh, no, you're not balanced. Balance, you know. Look, you have to be able to move in a certain way. And if you can't do that right, the teacher has to say where you're wrong. So that's the difference between me and a book. And a lot of the teachers' workshop is, oh, you're awesome, you're great, you're wonderful. You know what? If you're so great, what are you doing here? And the other thing is, if you're awesome and wonderful and you think, I'm awesome, you're never going to change because your brain is programmed with, I'm awesome, what's to change? I'm already great. So, like I said, this is the difference with me, and that's why I like people if they want to continue, so you can always be corrected, because obviously it'll take time. Yeah.
How much time does it take on average for people to make a turnaround like that?
I've had people make huge changes in a week, and others 10 years, 5 years, years. It's like saying, how long will it take me to walk a mile, a kilometer? Depends how fast you walk. You're going to crawl, you're going to run, it's entirely up to you. Yeah. So there's no way anybody could say, in 6 weeks, you will get this. It's impossible. It depends how much effort you put. And what are you beginning with? You know who's got the best chance? The person on the edge of the roof of the building ready to kill themselves. Because they don't really have anything to hang on to. But if everything is great, life is wonderful, everything is smooth, I don't want to change. So then it's harder to change. So it's a matter of how much do you really want to change? How difficult are things? Or how much do you desire or realize there is more to achieve? And ultimately, there's, you know, it's like this guy, he's a rich old guy, and he's dying. He's in the hospital. And his wife is there with him, and he says, honey, I have a thing to ask you before I die. What? Bury me with my money. She says, what are you talking, bury you with my... I worked so hard from nothing. I built a fortune. I want to take it with me. Bury me with my money. Come on, wait, please, my dying wish. Okay, your dying wish. I'll bury you with your money. So he dies, passes away, and they bury him. They put the coffin in the ground. They're about to cover the coffin with dirt, and the widow is there. She says, wait, I made my husband a promise. And she writes a check. Here, go cash that in your afterlife, right? And that's when you come to realize that the only thing that matters is the companionship. Nothing else. All of that is to help you get the companionship, perhaps. But the companionship, the feeling you have about yourself, when you realize that, what am I? Am I just human? Or did I actually become more than just human in this life? When you really come to that, then you'll change quicker, you know? But if it is, all I want is, like I had one guy, I kicked him out of the school. His entire ambition in life, everything he needed to be happy was one simple thing, only one thing, an Audi A4 convertible. Serious? Yeah. That's what I want. Oh, that's all I dream about. I said, no, I can't help you with that. You know, that one, he will never change. And I mean, I don't know how many years he stayed with me. He didn't change. He was in debt when he came to me. In 1 year, not only out of debt, but with a big surplus of cash. And he ended up back in debt. Again, got him out of debt, and then he just kind of drifted like that. Because that's his ambition. So when you say how long it takes, it really depends on each person.
Are you in a relationship? How long ago, if you don't mind me asking, since your wife passed?
Almost 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I didn't have, what? Oh, you had someone to introduce me to?
No, I lost my husband 7 years ago.
Ah, I'm
I
sorry.
was in a marriage of 14 years, a marriage where there was no fight, so it resonated. But it was mainly because of him. He was a far more evolved human being, and you know, you lift your game when you're with that person. So it just drew parallels. So I just asked.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, but yes,
Yeah.
you'd be an interesting person to introduce to people for sure.
Yeah.
Why not? But,
Yeah.
Can I ask something? And I
Anything.
don't mean any disrespect.
It's okay.
All right, I'm going to ask you because if it's in the back of my mind, I'd rather bring it out where
Of course.
I ask you. And I found your life story so interesting. I mean, to start a company when you were 13, to have knowledge when you were 5, and I would probably spend money just listening to your life story, forget the courses. I think I would learn directly from that. So truly, when I say it with complete respect. You've looked at the people that you've spoken to, from presidents and different. But you just said that you ran a course. You're running a course with one person in it. I look around today. There's not many people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
The success that you've thought about in the business, what you're doing right now, doesn't seem. And we came about to know you by chance.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't, you're talking about success, it doesn't seem evident in
I
what
know.
you're doing now. Can I ask why? And again, it's not that I don't believe that you can do what you do.
Absolutely, no problem. But basically, that's exactly the reason. If not many people are coming, not many people come. That's one thing. Because when there's a big crowd, people think, oh, it's great, everybody goes. When there's not a big crowd, people say, oh, it's maybe not good, they don't go. That's one thing. Second thing is, I hate social media and marketing. Renzi is doing it. She's learning, so we're not good at it. Third thing is brand new. Only starting like a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so only starting like a month ago here. And the reason is, in order to keep it pure, that my intention is for your benefit, I cannot sell myself. I am not marketing. This is not a business. So if you don't market it like a business, you don't get many people coming. So how it's always worked, anytime I settled in a new country, I built the school. I meet one, they bring another, they bring another. So it grows slowly. And so it's just starting now. So now it's a question of people, you are my marketing. Because yeah, I don't want to, if I'm out there saying, I'm awesome, I'm great, this is amazing, and I go out there and I do all of this, I don't want to, okay, we'll put it this way, never take the advice of someone who will profit from your loss. So never trust the lawyer. Never trust people who are telling you, oh, I've got this great investment, right? Because they'll profit even if you lose, all right? Okay, I don't know what you know, psychiatrists and this and that, but as a concept, you go to psychiatrists because you have a problem. You're a customer. They make a lot of money on you. Same with coaches. I'm not a coach. This is the same as coaching. If you're fixed, they lose a customer. That's not good for business, right? Now, I know Deepak Chopra and these big gurus, right? Look at any of their books or courses or workshops. They always tell you, in this book, in this workshop, you will get this, 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 this. You take it, spend thousands of dollars, you don't get what they promise. And at the end of it, they say, in the next book, the next course, you will get this, this, this. So everything is about keeping you going, right? My work, my charity, when I was in business, was family-owned companies that were going bankrupt, who could not afford to pay for help. I did the restructure for free, right? So I'd work and rebuild their company for free. I'm still doing that now for somebody here. So my job is to put myself out of a job as quick as I can. So I always say, I want to make a small group of lions. I don't want a big flock of sheep. So all of these things together add up to a very disappointing turnout. And like I say, people sign up and then don't show up. You can't do much about that.
Absolutely. I mean, I hate social media myself. And
Yeah.
I stay away from it, but it's something that you can't. And it's not necessary about touting your own trumpet, and that won't sell in the kind of business that you are just finding a different way to do it. But you're right, your courses will get you more people and it grows.
Yeah. So that's it. So she's doing the social media, and hopefully it'll start working. I just don't want to touch it myself. I don't like to spend my time on
I
it.
respect that. I do.
Yeah.
Have you written any books or anything that you have?
Yeah,
Okay.
quite a few. But most of them are small ebooks.
Yeah.
The ones in print, can't get them here, I guess. Yeah, but I have everything that's on ebooks. So with a few of the courses, you get some of the books also that I've written for the courses.
That always helps. Say somebody's
Yeah.
an author always helps in marketing, gives
Yeah.
credibility, just that way. And he's had such an interesting story about being a monk and even getting, right up in the papers here wouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah.
They love to talk about
Even
homegrown
myself,
people here.
that's why
Just
Well,
I
that's
love
it.
sharing
helping this.
what I know of this
That'd be
country.
great. Well, if you can get me into these people, I would, yeah, it's a matter of getting in,
It is.
and that's the hardest part. Who to talk to, who's going to get the interview and that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's just getting that started.
Next Thursday, maybe come over. Make some friends, if not anything else.
Sure.
I love your number.
Yeah.
It's been lovely, David. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank
guys.
you.
Any
All right.
Questions? I hope I didn't dominate.
No, have you got
That's fine.
one of the career courses next week?
Um,
That's the only thing.
do you know when is the pinnacle?
I want to know when the frustration, the communication.
Good, we can wait.
That one is, I think, 13th, but let's take a look here.